Welcome back to Level Check, and we are here to talk about. So, I played a ton of make your own choice games, but Dispatch is something special about it. This isn't just like a story; it's a TV show that you can kind of binge watch, and the choices you make makes it different in certain nuances. It's a linear story, but it makes it your linear story, not somebody else's, not Jane, Joe, Jerry. This is your story. You can change it how you want to. But here's the secret: the gameplay and the story run together. They're not two separate things that make it an entirely different game. They're perfectly aligned with each other. So with what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to break it down and tell you exactly how Dispatch is so successful and why it's making waves everywhere, right here on Level Check. So I would like to start with the first thing, and that would be the operator's dilemma. So at Dispatch's heart, it's a management game. But you're not managing resources, you're managing people. You play as Robert Robinson, a hero named Mecha Man who has the dispatch job after his signature suit. It's been in the family for generations. Got destroyed. This setup immediately makes you feel grounded to reality. You're not a superhero anymore, at least in a technical term. You're just a regular dude with a 9-to-5 now. The main gameplay happens right behind the desk. Emergencies pop up around the city, and you have to send your team to handle it. This is where the strategy comes in. Each member of your Z team or the Phoenix Force, they're just a band of misfits. They're just villains that want to become superheroes. Some of them have special stats like combat, vigor, intelligence. Every villain or superhero have their own special niche. Like for instance, Invisigirl, very fast. She, of course, goes with her character. She's invisible, she has asthma, but she's very fast. Every mission also casts secret requirements, so you kind of have to figure out which villain kind of goes good for this specific mission. So it's always like a puzzle you're trying to solve. But don't get it twisted, it's not just a numbers game. Each hero has a unique set of traits, and ironically enough, they have their own drama too. So you have to navigate rivalries and friendships and missions that force tough calls. Do you want to send two people who go really good together but they're not the best duo, or do you want to send a strong person and a weak person together to kind of help them level up throughout the course of the game? So it's more than just I'm gonna send my strong people all the time, because they do have cooldowns also. So it's a strategy game on top of a compelling story. So now that I've talked about Robert and his current dilemma with the suit being down and him having to train his whole other team of band of misfits to make them a compelling group, let's talk about something I would like to call the weight of command. So the good thing about Dispatch is when you're actually in game, it piles on pressure. What I mean by piles on pressure, every single decision matters regardless. It's not about winning one mission, it's about managing your team for the long haul. Heroes get tired, and then you do need to come back and get some rest. Sometimes a big emergency will pop up, and all your best people are out on missions. And sometimes you have to choose between, hey, do I want to go send a guy here to go get a kitty out of a tree, or do I want to stop a international smuggling ring? The good thing about it is all of these missions are equally important. When I say they're all equally important, there's no weight to, hey, let's go stop these people over here from destroying the town, or let's go get these people's furniture moved up to the second floor. They're all missions and they're all important. This constant pressure is what makes Dispatch's story more than just point and click. The main plot has set pieces, but the real story is the one you make through your choices. See, the good thing about Dispatch's story is it tracks a lot of your small decisions, and these ripples make the experience that you have with the game feel like it's truly yours. Seeing your people improve, seeing the story come together the way you chose it to be, it reflects in the story with your team's bond and the growth. And since you are a dispatcher, you do feel responsible for these characters. You feel like, oh, if I send them on a mission that they're not well equipped for, that was on me. They didn't go out there and do that. You set them out there to do it, so you feel responsible. You become attached to these characters. If they go out there and get hurt, that's on you. Like, that is solely on you. So sometimes it's the luck of the draw. Sometimes you could send. There is a percentile system in here, which, I mean, I don't see any other way they could do it, but of course nothing is 100% unless you make it 100%. That comes on later on in the game, but you do feel responsible for these characters because you're the one dispatching them. So now that I've talked about Robert and his dilemma quite a bit, let's move on to the other characters. Note I didn't say supporting cast, I said characters, because when I say these characters can have some of their own storylines, like apart from the dispatch story, they got something with this. And I want to call this little section right here characters that breathe. Of course, none of this would even matter if you did not carry back the characters. And this is where Dispatch truly shines as a game. It has TV levels of like writing in it. You've got characters like Robert, voiced by Aaron Paul, who just like nails the exhaustion of a guy who really needs a vacation. He's been beaten up, he's been bruised, he's been exploded. He needs a vacation. And then there's the team of misfits with their own baggage brought to life by like stellar cast of Miss Laura Bailey and Alana Pierce. The story is told in episodic like ways, which is pretty much impossible not to binge. I remember they released them every like couple days, 2 episodes at a time, and I would wait. One time I almost took off work just to get it as soon as it drops, just to watch the show as soon as it drops. The structure like leads for like a less of a slow burn, but it's really good. I'm thoroughly impressed by it. And it doesn't leave for burnout either. I mean, of course you can sit there and binge all of them at one time, but now I had something to look forward to when the 2 episodes dropped every day. The writing is witty and it balances out the really funny moments with the adult things like redemption and the trust. Your dialogue in the game actually makes a real impact. You get the classic telltale feeling that your decisions are being watched, and here it's completely earned. Like the original Walking Dead with Lee, teared up. I'm pretty sure everybody here has played The Walking Dead. It's that levels of good. So you push a character too hard, they may walk away, or you show a little faith in some of these characters, and you could potentially unlock a new story path. Spoiler alert. You get invested in their struggles because you're part of the journey. You made these choices. I kept playing because I genuinely cared about these people. I genuinely think there should have been more episodes. Like I was hoping like somewhere in between like the first and last episode, maybe like somewhere in the middle, like 4 or 5, there was like a beach day. If you don't know about the beach day, there's a classic anime trope where like the story just completely diverges into a beach day. Like we were just in the middle of battle. Why are we at the beach now? But there could have been an opportunity to where you get to learn more about these characters outside of them being villains, you know. And I think the comics they have in the deluxe edition kind of shows the background a little bit more, but it would have been nice to kind of see some of that stuff in game, you know. But that's besides the point. Hey, they got something with this, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to season 2. Hopefully there's a season 2, fingers crossed. Bring the cast back, everybody back. I need all of them, everybody. So now that I've talked about the gameplay, the story, how everything kind of goes together, let's talk about why it all comes together. And I know this may sound a cliche, but I would like to call it the perfect marriage. So it all comes together so well because in Dispatch, the gameplay is the storytelling. Sending a hero on a mission isn't just a strategic move, it's an act of trust, pretty much. Binging your hero isn't just like resource management, it's like having a difficult conversation with an employee. The system in Dispatch is not a gimmick, it's a metaphor for pretty much the main character himself. He's a frontline fighter that pretty much had to take a back seat because he can no longer be that frontline fighter. It's like a general who's been in the army for 30 years but can no longer hold a gun, so he has to manage his team now. The game is like streamlined, so there's no boring sections where you're kind of going from a place to place and finding something to click on. It's a story that you're following, that you're making. It moves through dynamic scenes that feel like a premium animated series, and it uses quick time events ever so sparingly. Not too much to where you can get overwhelmed, but just enough to keep your hands on the keyboard and mouse. This cohesion is what makes Dispatch so special. It gives the story weight. It gives the gameplay meaning. And this is exactly what I would expect from people who have been in the Telltale like realm before. These are all ex-Telltale developers. I think the studio's name is Ad Hoc Studios. I forgive me if I'm butchering that, but this game proves that you don't need 100 hours of branching paths to make a game good. You just need to make the game feel like every choice matters. Make the choices matter and you will find success, and this is exactly what Dispatch has done, and kudos to them. So to put a nice bow on everything, to answer the question, the original question, why does Dispatch work so well? Because it knows exactly what it is. It creates a world where paperwork and being a superhero intertwine. It builds a gameplay loop that's simple but deep, where every click is progressing you towards something greater. The world is filled with fluffy, funny characters, but you can't help but root for some of the more flawed characters also. You know the fluffy character I'm talking about? I got a suspicion he's HR, but hey. But Dispatch is a triumph design, and it proves the best stories in gaming are one of the ones we like, having a hand in writing. This isn't just a good superhero game, it's one of the best interactive stories of the year. So with that being said, this is Level Check, and I'm out.
That's it for this one from Level Check. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, drop a comment, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss the next review. We'll catch you in the next